Heather is going to be working on here right in front of me.
Mira,
She
cómo hace
has
caso,
TJ
mira.
as a behavior
Fíjate
called
lo que le
take.
dice ella.
This is something that TJ knows, and now it's getting passed around to every trainer. I'm sorry, Max, not TJ. Max was taught it, and now it's getting passed to all the different trainers. Generally, we work on a behavior. You have one trainer that's training that behavior, and then when it gets nice and solid, then you work on all the trainers being able to do that behavior. Now, a lot of people ask me, like, why do you train the behaviors that you do? And this one's a little more difficult to understand the why just at first glance. However, there are a lot of things that get into the pool by us accidentally, sometimes it's the wind or whatever, and it can be very, very dangerous. Animals don't always know, they're very curious, especially the young ones, and we want it to be more positive for us to bring items to us than for them to mess with them, swallow them, or do any of that type of stuff. So the first type of behavior you train to accomplish, is the take behavior. So they get used to holding all sorts of objects in their hands. And then you work on the bring me behavior. Now we also want them to be used to stuff being in their mouth, because when the guests come, we need to look at their mouths, and sometimes they like to poke and prod with all sorts of different things. Maybe hold x-rays one day. Well, this is all that foundation to build to all those advanced behaviors. I'm going to stay with Max for just a few minutes, because this is what's called a novel behavior. When it's all trained and everybody can do it on what we call a cue, which for take is just presenting the object, that's called an established behavior. What he's working on right now is called a novel behavior. That means he doesn't know really all the aspects that Heather's looking for. And I believe we're working on a water turn, and the difference between a spin, that's vertical in the water, and a water turn means he needs to keep his body in a turn above the surface of the water. Behavior is going to be really stimulating their brains. Now you know that you're a lot healthier mentally when you are learning things, here and there. And so that's a big part of these behaviors with our sea lions. Oh, there we go. Do you see how he kicked up his flippers at the end? That was really nice. You'll hear the bridge, which is that way we communicate, because they don't know English and we don't know sea lion. We have the whistle, or we can use a verbal good to pinpoint. So right as those flippers surfaced, Heather gave a bridge, communicating to him, hey, right there, that's what I was looking for. And then she'll give like a lot of food, especially in the beginning. Once things are established, like with our girls that are 15 years old, some of us have been working with them. I've been working with them for 13 years. Heather, 9 years, around that time. We can actually do whole sessions without even food, because we've made ourselves and play and interacting a lot of fun. So now I'm going to move on to TJ with Amanda, and I saw that she's been working a lot of established behaviors, going through her repertoire. A lot of them, like these front flipper presents, are one of the things that we train in the beginning, because doing a med check every morning is really important. So they present all their body parts, their front flippers, their mouths, their backside, their bellies, all that kind of stuff. And then she threw in a little bit of what's called a novel behavior that we just talked about, and that is hip hop. And that's where eventually we'll go back and forth like this, and they'll go back and forth with us. That's a really important behavior for cardio. You can imagine in their natural habitat, they're escaping sharks and looking for fish. I mean, life's kind of rough out there in their natural habitat. So they get lots of exercise out there just trying to survive. Well, life is pretty easy here. It's very much kind of like a spa for sea lions. Very easy. You don't have to hunt your food, don't have to escape predators. But exercise is still really important. So some of the behaviors that they do are really directed at agility, flexibility, cardiovascular behaviors, and a lot of them that look very like they have like a buoy jump or a backflip. In the wild, there are tons of photos of sea lions doing backflips. You will find 100 of them doing backflips down in the natural habitat. We're just putting it on cue so they can get the exercise, and then you guys can all see just how amazing this species is in the water as far as their balance, agility, speed, all that different stuff. Sea lions can swim about 25 miles per hour. That is pretty fast, and they can hold their breath for up to 20 minutes. So they are very well adapted for their ocean environment. Well, it looks like we're wrapping up with the training session. We do keep them a little bit shorter for the young animals. We are starting to progress now that they're getting older to extending our session. But we always want to leave on a positive. And as those of you that have, Max, I can contribute to maybe like a 5-year-old at this stage. TJ is more like the 7 or 8-year-old. You know that if you can get boring really fast, can't you? So we just want to make sure that we're always keeping things really interested and positive to them, because we're really building a strong foundation that training is fun, interacting is fun. And that way, if we make it fun, then we can train anything that we need to give them that really good life, whether it's a medical behavior or something that keeps them physically healthy or mentally healthy. So now that you guys got to see a little bit of the training session, does anybody have any questions about sea lions or anything that they saw today? Somebody's got to ask me some question. I put on this mic and everything today. Anybody? Everybody knows everything about sea lions? Does anybody remember how old